Yeah, it says we're going live. Okay, I have to say okay.
Yep. Okay, then the live video pops up and then you can just share that.
I've got your fabulous video from 3 days ago coming up.
Oh, yeah,
That
that
was
one.
a great video that you made.
Yeah, I like the short and sweet stuff. I can do those by myself. They're like, okay,
Ah,
so
there we are. So I shall share this.
that's weird. I don't see you live.
Honey Golden's personal meeting room.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to share that. I hope everybody's doing awesome today. Abby and I were going to record, and we thought, you know what? Maybe it's more fun to do a live. So we wanted to answer questions today, talk about all the wildness that's been going on in a kind of PC way for YouTube, and just kind of really have some fun today because we need more fun.
We do. I'm
So,
putting it on Facebook too because my Facebook guys need more fun as well.
oh yeah,
So
yep.
I'm having fun on there because I'm kind of hopping in and out and I've got my favorites list and the favorites list is actually working for a change. So I only see the people that I want to see, which is cool.
Wow,
Yeah, so I
wow,
just get rid of my phone now so I can give this my full attention.
yeah. So I'm just I'll watch the chat if questions come up. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody, wherever you're at. But we're excited to start chatting about what's going on. I just feel like we're moving forward so fast right now. Some things have been happening yesterday, which I thought was quite funny. Someone has an illness, and Mr. B has an illness
Oh
now.
yes.
And
Yes, I
yeah,
saw that. I put that on my channel actually. I'm gonna actually have this the live chat too so I can see.
yeah. Um, and also they keep talking about how they're going to do an investigation into what happened with
Hmm.
Mr. T. So things are
Okay.
really moving, yeah. And you can feel the energy, like it amps up. And usually for me, that means there's tons of gusty, crazy wind in the area. And as soon as that goes, something happens.
Interesting. And then my eye
Yeah.
is like, oh, you can't see anything. So that's kind of happened
Oh,
to me. I get that with the physical body, or I start coughing, or I can't see. When I would have like a client session and my eyes would suddenly fog up, it's like, okay, you don't want me to see what's
yeah.
going on. So our
Yeah,
body can actually tell us quite a lot about what's
it
going on
does.
energetically. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, and I think the white hats need to be left alone to do their work. Having a whole bunch of energy pointed at them, I feel like is bad because it distracts and it creates obstacles and all that kind of stuff. So just sending them love and help, like with whatever they're doing, I think really helps them get things done faster because
That's
we don't realize
interesting.
how powerful we are.
Well, what I've been feeling personally is stop looking at the global scene and focus more on you and the people on the ground around you, as in me.
Mhm.
So I've been allowing things to come up for healing. I've been working on projects and things and stop and start. It's like sometimes it's open and it's clear and you're in flow. And then I wake up and I'm like, no, I can't do this today. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, the blinkers on the horses where they don't let the horses look and see what's going on either side. I think sometimes we're put in those energetically for our own
mhm.
good. And maybe it's even us doing it to ourselves to say, no, you need to focus here on what's going on with
Yeah,
you and you here. Because with the waves of everything, like you're talking about the white hats, if there are big plans afoot, we're not always privy to all the other plans that are going on. And, if I have a feeling that no, I need to go inwards, then I respect and honor that because we are put in the positions where we are because we're best suited to being where we are. It's like you and me. I've
Mhm.
been trying to come and visit you this year, and it's just not happening.
I know. Yeah, and we had planned to go over in July, and I was like, intuitively, it doesn't feel good to fly during
Yeah,
July.
yeah.
So it's, yeah, there's a lot going on.
Well, I mean,
And I
that's what
think
I love
focusing
about
on your
you.
own gifts is really important.
I think so. I mean, and that's what I love about these deep friendships that people have. That I can just say it to you. It doesn't feel right, or it feels kind of right here. What do you think? And we're not like, oh my God, honey doesn't love me anymore because she said she'd come over in July and she didn't come over. God damn it. We're not doing
Right.
that.
No, we know there's something else going on. Yeah. Um, and I will be over this year, most likely still. And there's some things that will probably be announced, but I'm really excited just to go and be on the other side of the water for a little while. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've been drawn to come over and there's been blocks in the way. So like,
Yeah.
okay, next spring. Oh, that feels better. So it'll probably be next spring when I come over. But
Mm, yeah.
I think one of the things that we really haven't embodied fully yet is that time doesn't mean the same thing as it did. And so it's like, here's a year. What do you want to get done in a year? Because that's what we're used to thinking. And we can't do that anymore. It's like you can have 18 months instead of a year or 2 years instead of 1 year and just space it out because you actually end up getting so much more done if you're not trying to pack in such a lot of stuff in a short time. It just kind of opens something when you let go of your need.
Yeah.
Yeah, this month, what am I going to do? So I don't know, what am I going to do today? That's kind of where I am. What are we doing today? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Being in the moment. I mean, it's so important. Even my calendar doesn't fill up in the same way. It's more spontaneous, you know?
Yeah,
So it's really good. And I like that because I used to be just booked solid for like months of stuff. And I'm so happy that like I'm only like a week ahead and things are more massageable, you know? You can move things around more because I'm not scheduling as much too. So
yeah.
that's changed a lot. Yeah.
That's like when my book with Mark came out, Weapons of Mass Protection. It came out literally a week before I was going away for 3 weeks. And in the business corporate world, there's no way that you would be allowed to do that. You're launching a book, you have to be on hand, you have to be here, you have to be doing, doing, doing. And it's like, no, this is the new way of things, and everything has its own energy, and you have to trust the process. And the time felt right for me to go away, and now he's away this week, and it's like it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. You have to have that trust.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's a question in here about
Yay.
the hallway of an apartment complex,
Ooh.
um, and hearing whispering and chatter. Is that my gifts awakening? Yes. Yeah. So I feel like there was something that happened there, and a lot of people passed right in that area, and you're seeing a lot of them. It feels very Victorian somehow. So it might be that time period
Okay.
that a lot of people passed. So that was from Mary.
Yeah, I got a sense of grandmother energy. I've got the chat open here now on my phone too because I can tune in better when I can see
Yeah.
the words and the language that was used. But yeah, that's interesting because when I first read that question, I was thinking, was it a dream or was it a real apartment?
I
You
think
know,
it's real. Yeah.
because I think there's like a whole paradigm of walking down a corridor and all the doors off of the corridor and what's behind each door. And that can be like different timelines behind each door. It's kind of
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Doors are portals, you know. So, you know how you walk into a room and you can't remember what in the world you wanted? Like, what did you go in there for? I think
Yeah.
that's because it's a timeline shift. You just the process of going from the to the next room. You're flipping a new timeline.
I don't know.
So,
I've had some weird stuff happen to me this week. This week, like I've been in my office here for 5 years and I've never once locked my keys into my office. And I've done that this week. I had to, text and call the landlord at 9 o'clock at night going, oh my God, oh my God. I said, it's been 5 years. I've never done it before. So he organized for one of the guys to be here the next day to pick them up. But I keep forgetting things, like I'm leaving things upstairs or I'm driving away in the car and I have to come back. But I wanted to share the most incredible thing that happened. Now, I told a friend of mine yesterday, and I told my husband as well yesterday, so I can share this now. I have a little ensuite off of my bedroom, right? And there's a window that opens outwards. And when I'm washing my face and brushing my teeth, I take my glasses off, because you need to. And I put them down on the window ledge. And below the window ledge, we have a bit of a roof and a solar panel. So before one time the cat knocked my face cream out the window, it got lodged underneath the solar panel, and that was it. Ian had to get the roof out and climb up and all that kind of messing around. So anyway, my glasses were on the window ledge and they're doing my face, and the cat jumps up on the window ledge and I hear a noise of something knocked over and my heart leaps, right? And I'm like, oh my God, my glasses. And these are my very focals, and I'm blind without them. And I looked around and they weren't on the window ledge anymore. They were gone. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I have middle distance glasses and they were in the bedroom. So I thought, right, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to get my other glasses on so at least I can see. And then if I look at the window and I can see if they've fallen out, yeah, I'll be able to figure out what to do next. So I went around into the bedroom, and on Ian's side of the bed, where I never put any of my stuff, were my glasses, the ones I thought had fallen out the window.
yeah,
I just go, thank you.
you did it.
Me, I thought it was the
Yeah.
fairies or the mantles or oh my gosh.
No, but you asked for them to just appear. Like your calmness in going through the process allowed them to show back up.
It was just crazy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that you would make you think you're going insane or something, but it really happened that way.
Well, we're magical, and I think we're going to get more and more magical as we go. And we don't realize that we manipulate matter all the time.
Oh,
So just, you know, you did it. Yeah, that's really cool.
it is really
So
cool. Now I'm thinking, can I make a wish to make my eyes better? Because I have to believe that I can do it so that I won't need glasses at all. That's going to take me a while to come into balance with.
me too. It'll also take like, for me, I feel like it's going to take a vacation
Oh,
from work, you know, to help my eyes just totally go back into balance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Sunshine in here says she's still being abducted. I feel like it's actually a program. It's a
Wow.
program that's running. And I don't know if you're actually being abducted or you just believe that you're being abducted. So tap into that and see how you feel about it. If you feel it's a program, then I would break the contract for the program because it feels like it's a program to me.
I'm going to ask, have you made a declaration that you do not give permission for this to happen anymore? And when you make a declaration, it's a lot stronger than just saying, I wish it wouldn't happen anymore. I'm sick of this or no. No, and to make a declaration, you need a witness, and it doesn't need to be a person. So when I made a very strong declaration that I wanted my power back, I wanted to be powerful in my life, I went into nature and I stood on a rock and I shouted out to the surrounding nature and saying, I want my power back. So you might need to do that, to go out into nature, call on the angels and nature spirits and say, I'm making this declaration. I no longer want to be trapped in this program. I no longer want this to happen to me. I do not give consent. Don't give permission. And what happens almost immediately when you do that is all the parts of you that aren't sure what life would be like if that was the case, if it wasn't happening anymore, start getting afraid because we get used to living with these things going on. And so there's healing work you can do with them as well to come into balance. So you might need to make the declaration a few times until it's 100% true. And then just walk away from that, just leave it, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah. In between declaring to something just came in that it could also be to do with a shadow.
Mm.
So a shadow that is you in another life that is harassing you in order to get your attention. So keep that in mind. Ask for your soul to deal with that shadow. It needs to be done.
Do you know what is
Um,
really
yeah.
interesting, honey, when you say that is, do you remember when the timelines converged and parts of us that we hadn't healed or that hadn't been healed in those other timelines kind of crash into you, and then you're doing the healing work again and wondering, why am I doing this? Because I've already done this. There could
Mm,
be parts of you in you now that like drama. It's a dark part of you that feels life's just not worth living unless I have some drama going on. Now, I'm sure when I'm saying this, you could probably recognize somebody in your life who's like that. And it's very hard to admit that there's a part of you that's like that. But does it, so it's kind of like a get out of jail free card to say, well, maybe it's you from a different timeline. So you can say, okay, I haven't healed that part of me yet. So if there's an aspect of me, so even to do this before the declaration, if there's an aspect of me that likes drama, that keeps drawing this in or attracting it into me, could I please talk to her, he or she or it now so that we can clear this because we have plenty of drama going on. We don't need to be creating more for ourselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
so true. We have plenty. Um, so if we're not using the right calendar when people are reading astrology, would it not be right? So to me, astrology is all about the energy. And I've noticed that it's really following the energies that are happening right now. The astrology is. And remember that planets are a being. That's a soul up there running that planet. And that, they can do what they want. So they're following the energies as well. So, because we shift timelines all the time, the astrology is shifting to follow what we need it to follow. So, is it accurate right now? It's pretty dang accurate right now.
What's
Because,
really
yeah,
interesting is those Kuiper belt objects. I'm probably not saying it right. And the stars that are further away, and how they're coming into readings now when they've been there all the time. So it's almost as if the layer or the scales from the eyes of the astrologers have been lifted to allow them to see other things that influence us, that probably always have influenced us, but are now more available to us. So I trust that, when you resonate with someone and how they're reading the planets and the energies, then it's like a weather forecast. It's like
yeah,
you have to make sure you're not going to the channels that are telling you we've got climate change. You want to go to the channels that are telling the truth. And it's the same for the astrologers. Who are you picking? Who are you
yes,
around? And when people are different frequencies, right? They're reading it at the frequency that they are at. So if they still have that aspect of them that loves the drama, it's all going to be drama. And then you're listening to drama, and then you're attracting in drama because you're giving your power to this person. So don't do that part either. Dip into it's like I have three different apps on my phone to say what the weather's doing, and they're always wrong. And I just look out the door and I go, okay, I can see what it's doing. It's better to do it that way. Do that with the energies too. So, yeah.
yeah, totally, totally. So, Soul to Soul has a puppy that's going to a new home tomorrow, and wants to know, will he thrive? I get yes. Will it be a totally happy immediately, this puppy? No, but it'll be pretty quick. Feels pretty quick. Yeah. And
Puppies are
they'll really love
bouncy.
him.
They're
Yeah,
bouncy. Yeah.
they are bouncy. So Molly was walking down a hallway and felt like disoriented or a wonky head. And we definitely did we go through portals and hallways. We go through portals walking room to room. we are switching timelines quite a bit lately, and for me it does like create like a weird fuzziness in my head, and I think that's when we transverse like several at once.
It could also be an aspect of you coming in and
Yeah,
just shaking everything up for a moment, like that feeling of lightheadedness as it settles in,
yeah.
or a gift
Also when
activation.
you, right, or a parallel resolving.
Yeah.
Yeah, which brings in more gifts too.
Why did I just see
Um,
in my mind's eye there, honey, somebody holding cards in their hand, like playing a game of gambling and choosing what to do? Should you get another card or put a card down on the table? That kind of image just came in there as we're talking about this. It's like, what move are you going to make now?
because
Weird.
we're choosing our own timeline, we're choosing our own like resonance, and every moment we're making choices, and a lot of it is how you feel. So, I mean, that totally makes sense. I was thinking about cards earlier when we were talking about astrology because it's a tool that you can use and you can kind of focus on it and get more information. So, when I'm talking to my higher self, the most information that I will get is when I'm actually sitting quietly and writing things down. And it kind of, when you're doing cards or you're doing astrology and you're looking at a chart, it forces you to kind of calm down and get grounded and focus on the thing that you're asking about. So,
Yeah. It also,
yeah.
to me, feels like we've invested in the game that we're playing because for me these were playing cards like diamonds and the jack of hearts or whatever, and it just felt like we're all holding a hand and we're playing this game and we're invested in it, but it's still a game.
Mm, it is. It is still a game. Um, so let's see. Are my chakras blocked? Regina's asking. I feel like it's just there's something that you need to acknowledge. So something about yourself you need to acknowledge. So go inside and think about what that could be. It feels like some kind of a body issue that is connected to an emotional issue. So, and that needs to be cleared. So ask your angels and your guides to help you clear it.
It's very easy
Um,
to do a chakra clearing for
mhm.
yourself too
Oh
if you
yeah.
just focus on each power center in the body, visualize it spinning and getting brighter, and then make sure before you finish that they're all in balance and they're all about the same brightness. I
Yeah.
mean, honey, I always tell everybody to always start with an energy clearing because just do the clearing and then ask the question. And the question might not be as poignant once you've cleared your energy because the question might not even be your question. It could be someone else's. It could be an urgency that somebody's placed in your field that you're carrying and thinking that there's something over, it could even be overwhelming. And once you're your own size and your energy's big and you're clear and you're bright, then you've got your power and you're like, oh, I can handle that. That's not such a big deal.
Mhm. Yeah. It's like clearing your ego away, clearing all those little things away. And you can stay in that for quite a long time at this point. I noticed when I would help people clear their ego, or I was clearing my own ego like years ago, if it was something I was really attached to, it would just come right back. And now it doesn't, it's just gone. So that's really good. Um, so there's two questions here, and I'm going to answer one. I'm going to ask you the other one because these are fun. So my three B's, are our weather seasons going to go away? So are we going to let go of having seasons?
Mm.
And I've always received that we would be like a terrarium and we would just basically have the same temperature all the time. So it would be during the day, it would be like 74 is which I don't know what that is in Celsius. And then,
That's why.
and then at night it would be like 50. So if you wanted to have a weather change, you would go to the mountains or you would go to the beach and you would have a slight weather change and there would still be snow like at the top of the mountains if you wanted it. But
Hmm.
so the second question is, are they moving our moon? So that one's for you.
It's not a typical question I would answer.
I know.
Feel into it. Well, the moon definitely isn't what we think it is. And when I tune into the moon, I'm hearing a ticking like it's a clock. And it feels like it's almost come to the end. You know, like you wind up a clock and then it goes until the winding stops. And it feels like it's almost coming to the end of that particular turning.
Mm,
And it feels like maybe they're deciding, are they going to wind it up again or is something else going to happen? That's kind of what I get. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I feel like they're making it wonky, but also think about the timeline shifts. What is that doing to the moon? Like the shapes of the moon are out of whack, you know? It used to just be a crescent like that and, move further and further into being a full moon. And now it's like upside down crescent and like there's all these weird shapes that never existed before.
Yeah, I hear
So,
people saying that the moon's not where they think it is going to be. It's like it's in a different
yeah.
spot. But I've noticed that with the sun and how white and bright it is. But I get confused with the sun because there's so many chemicals in the air. It's very difficult to even see it at certain points. And I remember when I was in Italy only last month, and we went up this mountain to this fabulous restaurant for dinner, and they had the whole restaurant built around the sunset, right? So that there was this big view, and you have, the mountain, and you go down to the sea, and we're watching the sunset, and it just disappeared, and it didn't even turn golden. It was just 1 minute it was there, 1 minute it wasn't there. It was like someone flicked a switch, and it's like, what the heck just happened? Very odd.
Yeah. I think they're giving people so many clues. And it's not just that, it's also the timeline shifts. I think it's both that it's
Okay.
causing it. But so Susan just had a grandson. So congratulations. And
Congratulations.
yeah, she's wondering what we can tell her about him. Big, big soul.
Now I see this little baby with his arms crossed, and he's like, well, you're just going to have to wait till I'm ready.
Yeah,
It feels like he's not finished signing his contracts yet.
yeah. He's not decided all the things he's going to do yet, but he's big. So he will be teaching you guys lots of things, I think.
Yeah, he's asking for lots of patience. Can you guys have lots of patience with him? Because some aspect of him isn't quite ready yet to be here, and he might find it a little bumpy coming in. So,
Yeah. So Michelle's asking about the sky because I'm always saying that it's fake. So I get that space is plasma, and so it's like a very thick form of water, you know. And I get that the sky is really more of a periwinkle color. So we're not seeing the real color. And you can kind of see it in the sunsets here. I think in the south it's quite a bit different too, but there's a lot more pink in the sky than there's ever been before. And there's purple in the morning and purple at night. I noticed here in Colorado, but people from other places, they send me like amazingly purplish sky pictures. So
yeah, we've had
we'll
that
just have to see.
a couple of times, but I just feel the amount of spraying that's going on in Ireland because obviously I'm in Ireland. We hardly see the sky at all here. When you do, there's always that white haze going on. So they're really making an effort to not let us see
Hide it.
what's actually going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I that will fade more and more as we go. And I'm not going to say, oh, all of a sudden we're going to see the real sky. That's going to be up to us as well because you create your own reality. But we also have collective realities that we agree on,
Mm,
humanity does. And I think that we're probably fairly close, but we may get through all the political and systems dramas first, or it may happen in the middle. I don't know. Feels more like at the other end of that, that we'll see more to do with what reality actually is, because our minds will be ready for it at that point. That's what it feels like. So everybody's having wild dreams, it looks like. Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff in the astral plane. So that's from Margarita. I wake up tired a lot,
mm.
you know. So, and I know I've slept like, pardon this, expression, but the dead. Like, just like totally out. And I'm like, I have never slept like this before. And I wake up maybe once in the night. And not last night, but the night before, we had a coyote. And it was probably on the dirt road because we live on a dirt road, off the main road. And it was really close. And it kept repeating the same bark, like the same sequence. And it woke me up and I was like, what do you want? Like, be quiet, leave me alone. But I was having a dream and I woke up from it. And in the dream, somebody was asking me questions. They came with a whole pile of papers to the house. And they're like, hi, I didn't call. So I just came, brought all my questions. It was so funny. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't pick up the house for you, like that
I'm
was my
wondering now,
immediate
did you clear your
reaction.
energy field before you went to bed? Because they could be searching for you in the astral plane. It could be like an actual person just
It
thinking
is
of
an
you
actual,
so
yeah,
much. Yeah.
it's an actual person. It's so they're one of my soul kids, you know, and it was just so hilarious. So I was like, oh my gosh, and we were living in a different house, and John was just standing off to the side thinking, hmm, I don't really understand what's going on.
Well, that's kind of his normal thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, especially with all the weird things that I say,
Oh, it's
he's like,
funny.
okay. And he just won't say anything and then just walks
Oh,
away.
and I told Ian that John was coming over. He's like, great. So he and I can go and hang out and leave you girls to it then. So Ian said it.
Yeah. Yeah. They need a break sometimes. I mean, we definitely get deep into the woo for sure.
We definitely do.
Yep. So Hope is experiencing a lot of anger. How do I heal this? I'm going to let you answer because I need to cough.
Why do you feel you need to heal it? That's my first question. It could be a part of you that needs to be expressed. Where are you holding back? Always with anger, the most important thing to do is to make sure that it's yours and not collective anger, because there's a huge amount of anger in the field. And if you're like a sponge and you're just soaking it up, you could be like magnifying anger that is in you, but maybe you're not as angry as you're feeling. So imagining, first of all, and everyone who's watching could do this, that you're like a pressure cooker that's about to blow. And now you're going to reprogram yourself and allow the vent to open and psst, just steam off, let the steam come off. And then look at yourself and see, okay, am I leaking out? Is somebody taking my energy from me? Or am I plugged into, for want of a better word, the collective anger field? Let's unplug from that and then take some time out to just cool down. And then when you've done that and you're still angry, name exactly what it is that's making you angry, because I think we can also get a little bit lost in the anger, especially if there's a lot of stuff going on, and name it and make a list and then prioritize the list. And when
Mm,
you're cool-headed, then you can look at the list and go, okay, this I can't do anything about, so I have to just learn how to live with this. But this I can do something about. And then go and tick things off your list. So you bring down the levels, and stop being angry at yourself for being angry. I mean, that takes a huge layer off as well. Say we're human. And I was upset because I was angry the other day and I made a video about it, but someone said in the video, it could be virtuous anger when you're seeing a wrongdoing, so we're human and we're going to experience emotions. Don't be angry that you're experiencing emotions. You feel them, you move on from them, and you get on with your day and do something else. But if it is out of control and you've tried the list and you've tried all the energy work, then do consider talking to somebody about it. And there's no reason why you can't go and see a psychotherapist or a healer or someone,
Mhm.
talk to a friend, and if the friend's too close, because there is professional helpers out there, and now is the time where there's really good ones out there, and get word of mouth and go and see someone.
Yeah, absolutely. And letting it out, like that's so important. You can let it out like in a room by yourself. Go scream and let it out and just get the hugeness, like that, the pressure cooker, just like you said, like go vent it out and then figure out what it came from so
Yeah.
that you can, yeah, move on. Um, you don't want to hang on to that stuff too long because then it starts to drop your vibe. And I love the video that you made, Abby. I shared it on Telegram because it was so good. And it's so important because we have stuff come up and just acknowledge it and deal with it and then let it go. You don't have to hang on to anything. And
And
I
just
think
as
we,
funny speaking, ancestral anger and family anger is harder to disconnect from. So ask for help, and you can just ask yourself, ask by yourself, ask your angels, ask God, help me shift the pattern, because I really feel we're in a time and space where we can let these ancestral, tribal, historical things go for good.
yeah,
And just, yeah.
yeah, we totally are. So Maria is saying everybody seems to disappear from my life. Am I so difficult, or is this the death before the new? I would say it's the clearing out so that you can experience the new world because not everybody is willing to go with us at the same pace. That doesn't mean that you may not see them later, but right now I mean, we've all had a lot of people that just disappeared from our lives, and some of them ghost you, some of them never tell you why, but they just disappear. And it's because they can't vibrate in the same way that you're vibrating.
I'm thinking,
So,
if you think you're difficult, you need to look at that, because by thinking that you're difficult, it's like the hedgehog with the prickles. Your configuration of your energy field becomes difficult because you've decided at some level that you are difficult. And if you can face that head on and say, why do I feel difficult? I'm difficult. Why am I difficult? Because I say it like it is. I don't have time for lies. I don't do bullshit. I don't like wasting time. And you know what? That's difficult for other people, because for me not
mhm,
to be like that is too difficult for me. I need to be me. So when you kind of qualify that, I say, okay, well, I'm going to be me, and the people who I want around me have to be able to deal with that.
mhm.
So,
Well, and if the people around you are not attached to taking things personally, then it's fine.
mm.
If they realize that it's not about them, it's about what you're actually saying, for yourself, then it's fine. So it really depends on the maturity level of the person you're talking to, too. So I was laughing because Larry put a joke in the chat, which I think he's put in there before, which is he stepped out of the shower and tripped over his wife's bra, and he thinks it was a booby trap. So I'm like, I think I've seen that one before. Um, and have fun, you guys. Like, just have fun. We're not here to suffer anymore. We're here to just release things as we go. Just let them go, whatever comes up, whatever bubbles up. And if you don't know how, then get somebody to help you let it go. Yeah. Because we're here to enjoy our lives and to go forward into this new, more fun, more free lifestyle.
We've been conditioned for so many years to think there's something wrong with us. It's
Mhm.
like that person just saying, I'm too difficult. Well, there's nothing wrong with you. And what if, we wave our magic wand and suddenly nobody needs to fix or change any aspect of themselves, but we all just need to be good people and treat each other with respect, honor, and integrity. And those are words you don't hear very often, respect, honor, and integrity. So if you start with
Oh,
yourself and treat yourself with respect, honor, and integrity, showing up and doing what you say you're going to do. Treat your body with respect, honor your body because your body is the temple where you reside. You know my friend Mark Atwood, right? And he says we're spirits in a human body, the body's a vessel. I think our body's much more than that. I think our body is a sacred gift from God.
oh
And
yeah.
the fusion of the life force energy that is us into this body is a bigger gift than we could possibly imagine. And so many of us abuse our own bodies, and then you're wondering why the world is so abusive. To say, okay, the most important relationship that you have in the world is the one with yourself. And that
Mhm.
includes the relationship you have with your body, as well as the one that you have in your mind and how you talk to yourself. So you don't tell yourself you're a difficult person. You don't tell yourself you're stupid. You don't tell yourself you're not good enough. You are good enough because you're here. You are worthy because you're here, and then treat other people the way you would be treated. Then you don't have to always be trying to look for the next thing to fix. You can actually just be and let in
Mhm.
that light and let in the joy and let in the fun and say, oh, I could take the weekend off and just crochet and watch movies, which is what I love to do at the moment. And you
Yeah,
can,
yeah, totally. I think the body, I mean, if you think about your car and how a lot of us name our car, we love our car, we talk to it, all this stuff when we're in it, and how when you get a new car, it almost feels foreign until you caretake it for a little while.
a year
And
with me, it took me more than
yeah,
a
yeah,
year.
yeah. So, but your body is even more than that because you created it. So your human consciousness and your soul consciousness created this beautiful body that you're in. And there's all kinds of your consciousness wrapped up in it. So it really does matter. And why not honor it? Like, I don't understand it when people don't want to honor their body.
And your gifts are in your body, these light
Mhm.
codes that come in, they sit in your body, your energy field impacts your body. Your body has your heritage, your DNA, your lineage, magic and mysteries, and it holds a lot of your memories too.
Mhm.
You could sit with each body part, even just one small part of your leg, and just put your hands on there and go, I've never spent time with you, going in through your mind's eye to the muscle and the bone and saying, okay, I don't want to hold on to any more pain because I've decided I don't want to. So show me what I need to do to let it go, and then your
Yeah.
body might speak to you. You could fall down, it's say, as it's saying, I'm not used to this. Like like you said about the car, that's how I was feeling. Like, how your car's suddenly bigger and you can't drive the same way. Your spatial awareness has changed. You can't park your car in the same size space because the car is different. I felt like that about my body too during the week as well. So there's so much change going on. If we slow down and be nicer to ourselves, I think it gives us energy to be patient and tolerant with everything else going on, not take the game so seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Things are moving so fast right now.
Yeah.
So Penny has been seeing mantis and other non-terrestrials during her meditations. What is the purpose? They're everywhere. you're just starting to tap in that they're actually there. So it's one of your gifts. Like, be grateful that you're starting to see them maybe sooner than other people. I think it's fantastic, really. And mantis beings are very kind. They've really helped humanity quite a bit. So, I think most of the ETs, the fourth density ETs, have been exited at this point. That consciousness, we're not really focused on that anymore. So they just start to disappear. So, like the tall grays and the big spiders and, all that kind of stuff that has been really hard on humanity, I don't really feel them anymore. So,
Do you
tap
think
into
that
that
we're
for
just
yourself.
moving above that? Do you think that's what it is? That we're
Yeah.
just so they could all still be here? Because what I'm beginning to feel is that they're not ETs at all, that they're just intra-dimensional or extra-dimensional beings that have always been here that we just can't perceive. But
Yeah.
our perceptions change as we've changed frequency. We have better sight, better hearing, you know.
Because we're all basically, like, if you think of the universe, we're all basically in the universe together. So this is the universe. So we're all in the universe together, and they are interdimensional because the planets are also beings too. So every single thing is a being. Every single thing that we are interacting with is part of this game that we've created. And we just don't see ourselves as players yet. So once we begin to see ourselves as a player that is creating our own reality, then everything starts to shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people again getting addicted to the playing of the game, that they
Yeah.
just don't come out of the playing part.
Yeah. And I think there was a huge addiction of the 3D game because basically then you didn't have to acknowledge that you were creating it. So, and the more wounded someone was, the less likely they would be to want to come out of it. But as you heal, you're like, oh, I do want to take my power back. I do want to, acknowledge that I have consciousness and that I can create my own reality. And I want to create a fun reality, not a crappy reality like before, you know? So we're just kind of changing, we're elevating continuously. And some people have chosen not to elevate too. So just being kind to them, knowing that they have a consciousness and that their consciousness will get there eventually, whether it gets there in their body or not.
There's layers of
Yeah.
responsibility. How much do you want to take? And do you know what else has come up for me recently is apathy as a thing. And
Mhm.
there's a guy, an Irish guy who he's just brilliant. He comes out with the most amazing things. And Thomas Sheridan is his name, and he knows a lot about witchcraft, about the occult. He's pagan, all of this. And his observations could be quite difficult to take. But once you understand where he's coming from, I think there's huge wisdom in him. So he wrote one today and he said, people always ask me what is the best curse for your enemies? And he always says apathy.
Oh,
It's brilliant. You do not give them 1 ounce of your energy. So I thought
exactly.
that's worth sharing, so that you say, okay, I'm going to not feed you with my energy. And that's how we create things and how we uncreate things, because we're doing both. We're uncreating.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're healing all these lifetimes that maybe we didn't have the best time in. We're doing all of that stuff layer after layer. Somebody asked a really cool question in here. So Freddie is not feeling very good right now. And I noticed a lot of people are restructuring. So their body is going through a period of like achiness, feeling icky. Maybe they have to be in bed. I know for me, it was like achiness in joints.
Mm.
And it was only one day, but one of the ligaments in my foot got kind of out of whack, and that's taken longer to heal. But the one day was like this day of intense achiness, and everything hurt, like my hips and my knees and my ankles, and everything hurt that day, but it went away very quickly. So it is a restructuring, I think, that we're going through. And honestly, your body restructures in small ways every single day.
What can
So,
really help with pain is what you're eating, because everything you eat, your body reacts to it. And so if you're particularly in pain, you could build up to doing some fasting so that your body is just focusing on repairing itself and not on repairing itself and digesting and absorbing whatever it is that you're eating. And also
mhm,
look at foods and inflammation. What is causing you inflammation? Things like seed oil, processed food,
yeah,
there's hidden sugars and everything, all of that, cutting all of that out. It's a big ask. But that goes back
it
to
is.
respecting the body. But the neurological system that, our the light is affecting those, the CMEs from the sun is affecting those, the flares, the Wi-Fi, the shite they're spraying in the sky, all of that stuff. So making space to rest is really important.
Mhm. And being willing to transform things too. So, like some of the things that are out of your control, like I don't feel weird about any spray myself um anymore, because the ETs were like, that's where we're hiding. We're not putting anything bad on you anymore. So, quit yelling at that. That's basically what came into me when I was griping about it one day.
Well, I wouldn't
Um,
mind so much if I could see the sun for a couple hours every day, but we're not getting that in Ireland. So it's kind of
intend, just say, part the clouds,
hard to
you know,
clouds.
tell it, I want to see the sun,
Yeah.
let it in and see what happens. Because we actually, you can disperse stuff if you want to. It is your reality. So you can change it,
Mm.
especially immediately above you. You can definitely change it.
Yeah.
Um, we can bring the rain in. So yesterday I was here in the trailer, and I was thinking, it sure would be nice if it rained just a little bit and the air cleared. And 2 minutes later, it was raining. So you really can do it, you guys. Like just manipulate the environment in a nice way a little bit for your benefit, and ask for things. Like there's a little town that's close by, and it has the most trees out of any area here, because we're kind of in like the high desert, and that's where it always rains, because the trees are asking for that rain to come,
Mm.
you know. So think about those things. I don't think we slow down enough to think about that stuff. And I know I don't most of the time, you know,
Does feel
but
like a lot of stuff though to be juggling.
mhm. We are juggling a lot. So take a breath and like step out of it once in a while. I like to leave my phone in the house and just get away from it. That's one of my things, because there's always something coming in, like, an email or a notification, and I'm just like, just leave it there,
Yeah.
and then I get to get away from it, and I can clear my energy and just sit, it's really good. So, or go for a little walk or whatever. Um, yeah. So let's see. Why do you see more women doing dishes than men? Oh, that's a joke.
What did they give you a punchline?
Yeah, it's called a dishwasher, not a dishwash him. I don't know. It doesn't make
A
total sense to me.
dishwasher.
Sorry, Larry.
Dishwasher
Oh,
as opposed to dishwasher.
I get it. He's the pun master.
Maybe
Okay.
just maybe because women prefer to eat off clean plates.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to cook, but I know that John doesn't really know how to cook. So I'll do it if he looks really like he's so excited about maybe having pasta or whatever. Yeah. And he looks at me with this face, and I'm just like, okay, I'll do it. You don't have to put chicken in the oven tonight for yourself. I'll do something, so just not getting so attached to how irritating it is. I've noticed that, you know, there is more equality starting to happen, and that's because time has been freed up. But like, he does the dishes more often than I do, which I'm super grateful for. So, um, will caffeine affect negatively on your vibration frequency? Only if you expect it to. I love coffee.
I'm always going to have coffee.
Mhm. Yep. So,
Yeah.
I mean, mold-free coffee is probably important, you know, but coffee's not going away in my life. I'm
You
keeping
can
it.
bless everything. If you bless everything before you eat it, or
Mhm.
you raise it up to your vibration.
Yeah, it really helps. Now, seed oils, they've gone. I don't want them in my life. And sugar is, I mean, rarely will I get sugar, but it's usually if I'm out, but sugar is pretty much gone as well. So it really like makes a difference. And I think honestly, seed oils is almost the worst thing.
Yeah, well, I
So,
think genetically modified wheat for me is the worst thing.
oh
Really.
yeah, I don't have that either. I can't have that. I love to go to Europe because then I can eat all the food and I'm not like in total like disaster. But I can't have wheat in the United States. It doesn't go well. So, um, mushroom coffee. I love to put mushrooms in my coffee. Lion's mane and get a mix and put it in there. I really do like Cultivate Elevate. I don't know if you can get it in Ireland, Abby, but it's really clean.
Growing mushrooms at home.
Oh, that's right. So are they getting dried or anything yet? Or where are you guys at with that?
Well, what's amazing is my husband, he's got a science degree. And so he's getting really excited. So where the mushrooms are, because we went away to Sardinia for 3 weeks. So he's got
Mhm.
them in the final process of growth, but we've got oyster mushrooms, which are growing really quickly. And he's got a whole extraction set up now to extract the nutraceuticals from the mushrooms. But the mushrooms aren't ready yet. So we went in the garden and he collected rose petals and made rose oil out of the petals with the extraction machine.
Mm.
So it's really exciting because like the girls can make candles and put rose oil in the candles and put rose oil in the soap and all that kind of thing. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it. So dehydration and extraction, and he's looking at ways to do it without alcohol as well.
Oh,
So
good.
free extraction. Yeah, but you can grow. I mean, we're growing the lion's mane. So
Yeah, you can eat it too. I'm used to just sticking it in powder form, but it's really good actually. Lion's mane's a really good mushroom. Oyster mushrooms are really good. Adding them to your food is a really good thing. And if you're cooking them in like lard, um, or I guess they don't call it that anymore. But you don't want hydrogenated anything, but also coconut oil is good, and just that oil is good for you. So you have,
well,
you know,
unsalted butter I'm using for cooking.
yeah,
Just
or
salt
ghee.
butter. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So it really is helpful to have a natural oil. And then I've noticed lately too, if I take my omega 3s that I feel better. So I've started
But your
that.
body needs fats.
Hmm.
It just needs them for everything. The myelinated sheath, that is the smooth expressway between the neurons to talk to each other. It's all made from fat. and the
Yeah.
hormone regulation is fat, and you know the lubrication of the joints and the collagen and all of that. And we've been so conditioned to say fats are bad, you need to have low fat diet, and that's why so many people are sick.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
increase your
And that was done on purpose, so we can just say no to that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes you not really want the sugar either
Because yeah, balances
because,
all the foods and
mhm,
everything.
yeah. So it's great stuff. And I still think fruit is very good. I have fruit, but I have it by itself and I let it, go through my digestive system really quickly because it takes like 15 minutes for fruit to go in and out of your stomach, basically. Yeah. So eating that before you eat your other food and then eat something that will stabilize the blood sugar. And the real fiber in the fruit is important so that it digests slowly versus, like fruit juice, not such a great plan.
Well, fruit was designed to be eaten. And when you
Yeah.
have so much of it concentrated in a juice, it's overload.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
everybody's body is different and every stage of life is different, you know. So neither of us are medical experts, and everyone
No.
watching this who's watching at this stage know that the medical experts are not always what they seem. So the best thing to do is trial and error and see what works for you. But I think an elimination diet is great because when you find something that doesn't make your body upset and that's you're stable, then you can add things in and you'll notice quicker, oh, this is the thing that's my body doesn't agree with, and then leave that one out. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
So Violet has a question. Um, does my 7-year-old have any attachments or is there anything I can do to help me less cranky and mean? So maybe it's him that's cranky and mean. He's like a restless man stuck in a boy's body. What can I give him to help him calm his craziness?
I just get that he's not getting proper sleep. That's what
Yeah.
comes to me straight away.
I put magnesium on his feet. And like Abby said, we're not doctors, but I'd put magnesium oil on his feet at night and really look at his diet and what you can do to help with that as well. Because the additives and the sugars and all that stuff,
Soda. Soda's the
yeah,
worst.
it is the worst.
Yeah.
So, um, Molly said there's a French scientist that has a proper food order in eating to prevent glucose issues that lead to diabetes. And the French do very well. Look how thin they are, and they're eating fat all the time. So they know what they're doing. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, I like the convection oven. Samara is asking about air fryers. I actually like them as long as they don't have Teflon in them, you know. So look at your air fryer and make sure there's no toxic things in there. But yeah, I don't
Everybody
think that
has
they're
to
bad.
do their research. Do your research, you know,
Yeah.
and get advice and try things out and see what works and see what doesn't work.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
not everything's the same in different places of America. You could, you know, different countries are different. The way things are made are different. So,
mm, yep. Really be willing to dig into things, I would say, because it's for your personal well-being and take care of yourself.
I love my air fryer.
Yeah, I have two of them and one of them I'm getting rid of because I realized even though I wasn't using that, I was putting wax paper in there. I'm not going to use it anymore, but the other one I feel like is great and it's more of like a convection oven.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. So, yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I just want to send love out to all of you guys and kind of making sure that you think about yourself and your own stability during all these big energies that are coming in. Yep. So I want to thank Abby for coming because I think this was really fun.
It was really fun. Can I just
Yeah.
say something? I won't be plugging my book, but I'm going to plug the book because
Yeah.
there's a lot of work in this book. It's not just a reading book. And I've turned it into a workbook, and it will be available soon on Amazon. And the workbook's almost bigger than the book.
Oh,
So when we talk about taking responsibility and not knowing where to start and doing energy clearing and doing protection and feeling stronger, there are things you can do.
mhm.
And but honey, you put your link down below the video. People can get
Yeah.
the ebook for free with your link and start looking into saying, well, I'm going to take life by both of my hands and I'm going to be, the master of my life as opposed to allowing life to master me. And then it's like, oh, I'm back into victim. So no, we don't need to live like that anymore. So there's plenty
No.
of things to do. And do ask people for help. Ask for help. Get some support if you need to.
Yeah. If you need it. Yeah, absolutely. And get into talking to people. Find some people that can be your friends in this elevating time. And don't get super attached to them either, because they may start to, elevate at a different speed. But be aware that it is time for us to start to gather. So start seeking out your soul family. Ask for your guides to bring them in. Yeah.
I was even thinking yesterday, which was unusual, is just having a picnic and inviting a bunch of people to it and not have an agenda and just sit there and talk and be in real life together is something that's worthwhile, something that's worth doing with no agenda is always good, no attachment, no need, because then you're making space for joy to come in, for innovation, creativity. So as we're grieving all these things that we're leaving behind to clear and sweep the room out so all the new stuff can come in as well. So look, thank you so much for asking
Absolutely.
me on. It's always great fun chatting with you.
It was great. And we just flipped the timeline. So that was fun too. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Thank you